Nosipho is a loud, driven individual with lots of energy. A mother to three gorgeous girls, a wife to an amazing husband, and an employee at one of the big four banks in South Africa. A fitness enthusiast, a foodie, and a great cook. She believes in the power of community and believes it is important to stay connected with her inner self and those around her. Big on sharing positive energy and good vibes, ladies and gentlemen, Nosipho Jiyane, my journey to being whole and fulfilled.
My cousin has just died, leaving behind 2 children and a newborn. On top of that, a friend of ours, a newlywed whose wife is expectant, has also passed. And then we hear that my husband's granny is no more. All these calls and messages received within a 3-month period. We were losing our loved ones, and there's nothing we could do about it. I've always known we were all going to die. I just never thought I would live in an era where I witnessed so many people die at once. Hospitals filled to capacity, healthcare workers working tirelessly. The deadly pandemic, COVID-19, was on our shores, and it was causing so much chaos. We lost so many people, friends and loved ones whose funerals we couldn't attend due to the restrictions. We lost so much so quickly, we couldn't get closure. With my parents and siblings in another city, as the stats of the positive cases increased, so did my anxiety. The thought of losing any of them had me living in fear. Having a husband who is employed in the alcohol industry, with all the alcohol bans that we experienced, unfortunately, our livelihood was threatened. At this stage, closure was no longer a priority. Survival was. This led me into entering survival mode, pushing my emotions to the side to accommodate daily functioning. Fast forward 2 years later, it is the 30th of April, my birthday. I could finally celebrate in style. Things were starting to feel normal again. It was a beautiful day filled with so much love and joy. I had spent the morning with my close friends and family celebrating. That evening, as I was going through the pictures and videos from the day, I struggled to connect with images of myself. The woman I was looking at on the images looked different. Not only was I a little rounder from all the emotional eating, my energy was different. The Nosy spark was gone. I started feeling overwhelmed with emotion, wondering what had happened to me. This is supposed to be a happy day. Was I perhaps being ungrateful or petty? No, I wasn't. I was now living a life desensitized to feeling after having lost so much. On top of that, working from home, playing roles of a wife, a mother to 3 little girls, and a leader, had left me feeling and looking so exhausted. I had placed my entire survival and identity on fulfilling these roles, all which required that I give a piece of myself. There were not many pieces left. I couldn't continue living like this. It was time to offload and rebuild. The transformation journey had begun. I have always been an active person, not necessarily consistent. I was either doing too much or too little, depending on how I was feeling. So it was only natural for me to start by targeting my physique as an area I would start for my transformation. I started my fitness journey with less intense workouts like yoga, dancing, and once I had built up the consistency and stamina, I moved into high intensity workouts like cardio, kick, and weights. This time, it was different. I was determined to make improvements that would be consistent and would result in a lifestyle change. I now understood that mastery requires patience and consistency. I promised myself I will try out everything that my heart desires. One of my highlights include my hike to the top of Table Mountain. Another special moment for me is when I achieved my headstand in my yoga class after hours and hours of practice. That required a lot of mental and emotional strength. I still get emotional when I think of the time I finished my first 10-kilometer race. After I had written myself off as a runner, getting to the finish line, seeing my husband and kids cheering me on, the pride on their faces, I almost cried. I was starting to feel again. I had managed to strip off the excess weight I was carrying on my body, my mind, and in my heart. The practice that I had for my physique, I started applying across all the areas of my life in order to lead a life of harmony. Now that my cup is filled, I am feeling so much better about myself. I now realize that I have so much more to give to all those around me. I can see and hear myself again. I am taking care of my body and have committed to a workout routine while I continue to experiment with other fitness activities. I am taking care of my mind, what I feed it, the conversations I engage in, the environments that I choose to spend my time in. I am definitely reading a whole lot more now. Facebook and Instagram probably think I'm dead. I am taking care of my spirit by starting my days with an hour of daily devotions, meditating on the word of God and his promises for my life. The stillness of these moments is unmatched. I am happy to report that the Nosipho is back. I am more energized, clearer, and connected to the essence of who I am. I resonate so deeply with these two quotes. One, you are not required to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Two, fear does not prevent death. It prevents life. As with many stories of healing and transformation, what started out looking like adversity was actually grace in disguise. And for me, I look at this as an opportunity granted to me to return to my being. Like Oprah Winfrey says, if you know who you are and what you stand for, you stand in wisdom. May you continue to serve gracefully with intent without losing the core of who you were called to be. To a purpose-filled life, to prioritizing things that light a fire in your belly, to being whole and fulfilled.